So, all right. So for the first salad I'm going to make, it's titled Strawberry Caprese Pasta Salad with Balsamic Glaze. Does anybody make a balsamic glaze or know how to? I love a good balsamic glaze. Okay. Well, I'll demonstrate that today. It's very, very, very simple, much less expensive than buying the glazes in the store. And really just as tasty. I find that they're very easy to make and taste like store-bought quality. Not everything does, but in this case, balsamic glaze is very easy and very good to do a homemade version. So with that, we're going to put 3/4 cups of balsamic vinegar in this little saucepan here. And I'm going to make the full batch of the glaze because there's lots of other ways you can use it, and I'll discuss that afterwards as well. But the salad, I'm making a much smaller version of the salad. So just to keep that in mind, it's not going to match the amounts you'll see in the notes. But I'll make this the whole 3/4 cup of balsamic vinegar. Takes a while with those tiny little spouts they have, or little holes in the vinegar. All right, so that's that. And then we're going to put that in the pot here. And 3 tablespoons. This is where you have a little wiggle room. If you want a little sweeter, you can go a little higher. If you go lower, you certainly could. It just will take longer and it might not thicken up as much because it's going to be more of a glaze versus a, well, vinegar, because that's much runnier. So we're going to thicken this up, and the honey helps do that. And also it just gives it that nice sweetness to it and rich flavor. And also a pinch of salt, which helps us bring that flavor incorporation that we need. So a pinch of salt for me is basically 1 round of this, maybe 2, depends on how you want to define a pinch. Technically, a pinch is 1/8 of a teaspoon. So that kind of might be able to help you there. And I'm going to stir that up, get that brown sugar mixed in there. And then I'm just going to put this on low. And we're going to let this simmer for a while I get started with the other parts of the salad. I'll have to keep my eye on that. So if anybody sees big flames, let me know. I think we'll be all right. All right. So, and I'm going to put that, I need a little, because balsamic stains everything. So I'm going to make sure I have a little holder underneath it here. Forgot about a little spoon rest. I just need a little plate for my little spoon rests. Okay, so we're gonna let that get started. Then what we're going to do is start the salad. I already did do the pasta, and you can see this is a much smaller amount. It does call for 10 ounces of pasta. That's basically a little over half a box from what I saw in the stores. So this is a little less than half of the box. And I did do one way you can change up your salad to make it better is I used a whole grain pasta. So, and what I did is I drained it, but then I really shook it around once in a while gently because whole wheat pasta does break up more easily. The gluten isn't as strong, the content isn't as high because it has the bran and the kernel in there. So whole grain pasta will break more easily. It will get mushier. So actually you will probably need to boil it less. Just keep that in mind, watch it. So maybe it depends on the brand. Mine definitely took less than a regular pasta. It took about 8-ish minutes. Typically it's about 10 to 12. So otherwise it will get mushy. So I was careful to watch it. And then I let it drain. And then I just gently shook it around so it didn't get that condensation, the steam that can really wet down your pasta. You could lay it out on a sheet, I suppose, and let it, the steam evaporate that way. But it's such a small amount. I just kind of gently stirred it, and it got nice and dry for me. So that's all set. So then this is very simple. It's just going to be putting some fresh mozzarella. I'm cutting up the little balls. It's, forgive my Italian attempt, but ciliegina. I don't know. I'm not Italian enough to really pronounce these correctly, I guess. But it's cherry size mozzarella. So I'm gonna open it up and dice them up. Little paring knife works just fine. Straight knife works okay too, but this is a little cleaner of a look. Just however small you want it. I'm making this, I should mention, I am making this cold. It doesn't say really which temperature. It doesn't, I'm assuming it's supposed to be cold because it has the spinach, has the mozzarella, so otherwise it would kind of melt all together, but that is a thought. could wilt your spinach a little bit, maybe get that mozzarella a little bit melted, so it is a nice incorporated, more of a warm salad. I think that could possibly work for this one as well. To me, it feels like more of a cold salad, so I'm doing it that way. I'm gonna put a little more of these. It's for the regular size, it is 8 ounces. So I'm gonna do less than that. This container here is 8 ounces. So I'm not going to even put half of this container in here. I think it'll be plenty. And I can hear it simmering, so I'm going to go over there and stir it. And I might need to turn it down just a little bit. The glaze there. And actually, you know what? I think I am going to do one more. All right. So there we go. I'm going to stir this up and turn it down. Especially, I got to get that paper out of the way, don't I? I don't need to have that near the flame. All right. So then we're going to, it says 8 ounces of strawberry halves. I just got some nice big strawberries here to cut up in halves. I could do, but I'm going to actually make them smaller. I'm going to slice them up because it's a little salad. So the presentation, just to do some big chunks of half a strawberry, I don't think would go very well. And, you know, wouldn't divvy out very well either. So I'm going to get this sliced. Slice this way on this one. It's better part of the strawberry. Just gonna put that in there here. And actually I could, well, you can probably see this better. I'm gonna hold the strawberry top there. That. And that's a little too mushy. Strawberries, you know, seems like every single one's hit or miss. So just be careful not to choose the mushier parts. And that's starting to look pretty already, I think. And I think I'm going to do a couple more here. And not that. All right, I think that's going to be about enough. About. Okay, so we've got red, white. Now we'll get some green in there with the spinach. It's supposedly 2 cups packed spinach, it says. So I'm going to save these for later. So I just got a cup, and the only downside is they are large spinach leaves, so it'll look a little funny in here unless you want to chop them up, which you could. But I don't really like chopped up spinach too much. I do like the whole leaf look, so I'm just going to go ahead and try it with the full size leaf. I did take the stem off too. You don't have to do that. You could certainly chop up your spinach with the stem. I don't like the texture. And it kind of scratches your mouth, you could say. So I always take the stem off, and then you can chop it up if you'd like. But I like more of a natural look. You could tear it a little bit to get some of those huge leaves brought down to size. But I'm just going to put it in like this. And I feel like if I need to tear it a little bit later, I will. There's, well, thought I saw a stem that escaped here, a little one there. I'm kind of picky on that. We're just going to do that because we're going to toss it in there and we'll see what it looks like.